clearly. And I welcome the opportunity, however short, to take part in this debate. And really, I find it appalling that a small group of people would be allowed to burn out tents, board buses, block roads. That's totally unacceptable behaviour. Notwithstanding any genuine fears that a community may or may not have, that type of behaviour is totally unacceptable. That a man in his 70s is now in hospital as a result of what happened is totally shocking. And I understand on Monday morning, members of the National Party refused entry to vehicles carrying asylum seekers coming from City West Hotel to the Airways Industrial Estate. So let me condemn that behaviour out of hand. And now let me look at government policy, which introduced direct provision in 2000 as a temporary measure. And here we are in 2023, and we're going backwards. And I welcomed Dr. Day's paper and Dr. Day's report and the white paper. And one of her main conclusions before the white paper was a key conclusion: a system which places applicants for extended periods in accommodation with little privacy or scope for normality is totally unfit for purpose. We've been told that by Dr. Day. We know that from the white paper. We know that from the former Judge McMahon, whose terms of reference forced him just to look at making changes but not abolishing the system. We know it's not fit for purpose. We welcome the decision by government to end direct provision. But my difficulty at the time was we were basing that on accommodation in the community, and that was a complete denial of the accommodation crisis and a refusal to look at the accommodation crisis and the causes of it. And here we are today, 23 years after direct provision, and we're distinguishing between those of colour or those who come from non-Ukrainian countries, and it's totally shocking that we would have a two-tier approach to asylum seekers and refugees. It's simply appalling, Minister, and I have no idea how you can stand over it. And if we look at direct provision and we see that of the people, 20,412 or a little less, 1/5 are children. 1/5 are children. And as of the 6th of April, 5,197 people, of whom more than 1,000 were children, have status and can't go anywhere. They can't get out of direct provision. 376 of them are in Galway. And yet we lay on all of every assistance to Ukrainian refugees, which I absolutely welcome. But how can we distinguish between different wars? How can we do that and look somebody in the eye? It's simply, it beggars belief. So what the EU has done is to deliberately create a distinction that leads to hatred and leads to othering of people, which tells us we've absolutely learned nothing from our experience. And now we're looking at cruise ships and various things like that, when really for a long time now we should have been building ourselves direct reception centres based on non-profit. We put everything into the market, rewarded hotels, rewarded various accommodation centres for profit, while utterly failing to recognise that we needed a direct role, as in the housing crisis. So I welcome that we have now got communication from the Minister in relation to Galway, and that over 302 asylum seekers are now going to Galway. I welcome that, and I hope we sit down with them as 5 TDs in the area and have a meeting with them in relation to the benefits to all of us in Galway from that. However, industrial units are not suitable, and they need to be temporary, and we need a long-term plan.